All right, welcome back. It is aimed at cultivating upcoming artists to help them launch their musical careers and produce future gospel music icons while alleviating poverty at the same time. That's the eThekwini Parks Recreation and Culture Unit Gospel Music Talent Search program known as the Gospel Icon Discovery Competition. After extensive preliminary rounds, the finale of the competition takes place at the Ohlange Sports Ground in Inanda near Durban tomorrow. And to tell us more, we're joined from our Durban studios by the head of the eThekwini Parks Recreation and Culture Unit, Thembinkosi Ngcobo. A very good morning to you, Mr. Ngcobo. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, let's establish what the Gospel Icon Discovery Competition is and why this competition was launched.
It has a very deep and rich historical context. We as the city of eThekwini have discovered many years ago that actually we do have a round of talent when it comes to music, whether it's in terms of production of content, whether it's musicians themselves and so on and so forth. But then we found that most of the time our musicians, they find Joburg and other cities being better avenues for the growth of the talent and the nurturing of the talent. For instance, we'll be well aware of Afro Entertainment, DJ Socks, DJ Tiras, and many other big names that you have here in the city. So some few years ago, they started to reverse and then produce their music within the city. Then we looked around and we said, most of the time the gospel artists are not given the opportunities that others, various interventions that will happen through government, so we don't provide enough of that. And then we took therefore a decision that for the next 20 years, which runs up until 2032, we are going to have a very strategic focus as a city on identification of talent among especially our young people, the nurturing of that talent, and also secondly, that we wanted to create an infrastructure that is going to absorb the talent and also have all the facilities best in the world that can be used to nurture the talent. And then thirdly, that if, for instance, you are in, whether you are in Australia, you are in America and so forth, in the next 20 years, that is 2032, when you think of going or attending an event, a very well-known event in the world, you better come to Durban. If you want to go and meet best musicians in gospel, then you must come to Durban. So this is the view then we have, or we took when we came up with this Gospel Icon Discovery Competition, which has been going on for the last 5 years. And we have quite a lot to show for this, the talent that we have identified, whether in terms of music writing, the singers themselves. But then this competition tomorrow, on the 17th of September, will be concentrating more on the musicians, the young people that we have identified.
I would imagine, Babi Ngcobo, there were extensive and rigorous preliminary rounds. Talk to us about those and what they entailed.
This city has 106 wards, all in all. As you will be well aware, like all other cities in South Africa, we were more structured and, in terms of racial lines and so forth. So when we started the first 2 years or so, we were limited by that history of racial segregation, so that it was only black people, black young people who were participating. I must say, this is what I've seen. We've been able to draw a number of young people from the Indian areas, colored areas, so the competition is now becoming fully integrated. We've been to all of these wards, and in total, more than 3,000 young people came to the fore to showcase their talents, and then eventually we were able to identify 16 soloists who are going to be competing out there, 10 young people below the ages of 10 who are also going to be competing in their category, and also 20 groups that are going to be competing there. So this means all in all we'll be having just more than 300 young people who are going to be competing out, battling it out tomorrow for this competition. And as I've said, what we have seen now is that all the racial groups in the city are now participating in that event, and this is good for us both in terms of a nation building, but and also secondly, because that is where also is quite important that this music, it's about spreading out the message whether in relation to morality, in relation to how do you relate to other people and so forth, so that at the end of the day, we're not only going to be producing musicians, but we'll be sending out good gospel music messages that at the end of the day are going to ensure that ours become a city that is peaceful, based on morality, and in that sense, therefore, a welcoming city, so that once we have all of these musicians and all of these various platforms for music, the visitors will know that when they go to the city, it will be a peaceful city, a safe city, where they will be welcome as human beings, fellow human beings.
All right. Baba Ngcobo, thank you so much for chatting to us this morning. Great chatting to you. I appreciate your time. All right, that was the head of eThekwini Parks Recreation and Culture Unit, Thembinkosi Ngcobo, speaking to us about the 5th Gospel Icon Discovery Competition, which takes place at the Ohlange Sports Ground in Inanda, near Durban, tomorrow, the 17th of September.